Hey, Cub fans. Thanks for joining us here on Cubs 24/7, where Randy talks Cubs. Cubs beat the A's today 3-1. Shota Imanaga was uh, lights out for the most part, best we've seen him. I'll talk about the details on Shota. But starting lineup was maybe an opening day preview. Nico led off playing second base. Seiya was in left field hitting second. Belly was in center field hitting third. Christopher Morel again at third base hitting cleanup. Dansby was at shortstop hitting fifth. Michael Bush got to start at first base hitting sixth. Michael Talkman, right field, hitting seventh. Gomes was behind the plate in the eighth hole, and veteran David Peralta was hitting ninth as the DH. This was the game 20 of the spring. Cubs are 11-7-2, two ties. So on a little bit of a win streak here. So things have gone pretty well, I would say. So the A's starting pitcher today was J.P. Sears, kind of a nasty lefty, and he held us down for the most part, except for Seiya. And so we only had 6 hits, 2 walks. We struck out 8 times, and we scored 1 run in 3 separate innings. We scored 1 in the first, 1 in the fourth, and another one in the 8th inning. So let's talk about the scoring. Then we'll talk about how everybody did. I've got some really good news on the pitching side, too. So first inning, Nico, first at bat against J.P. Sears. Didn't try to do too much, just put the bat on the ball on line day. A really good, hard ground ball to between the second baseman and the first baseman for a single to right. Then Seiya comes up and hits a ringing RBI double to left to score Nico. So that's how we scored. It was quick. Nico single, Seiya with a double to get the 1 run in the first. Then in the 4th inning, Belly led off with a single. Morel got hit by a pitch. J.P. Sears had thrown one of those back foot sliders that he got too much of and actually hit Christopher in the right foot, top of the foot. But it looked like he was okay. Nothing's come of it. So hit by pitch. Then Bush came up and hit a single. He didn't hit it that hard. Sort of got off the trademark a little bit, and it sort of flared into center field. But it's a base hit, so we got the bases loaded. Talk came up and hit a sac fly to left field to score Belly. So that's the second run. Then the third run came in the 8th inning. And I can't believe I'm going to tell you this, but David Bote hit a solo home run today. It's his 5th. Bote comes in like the 7th inning, plays shortstop, fields a grounder, looks good. First at bat, second pitch, just hammers the ball to left field for his 5th home run of the spring. So that's the scoring for the Cubs. 1 in the first, 1 in the 4th, and David Bote solo bomb in the 8th for 3. So Nico went 1 for 3. That he singled and scored in the first, grounded out to third base, into first base. Seiya had a big day. Seiya went 2 for 3. In addition to the RBI double, he had another double in the 5th. And in the 3rd inning, he hits a hard line drive that center fielder had to make a pretty decent play to get to it. So Seiya hit the ball hard all 3 times. Belly went 1 for 3, had a strikeout, a single, and a fly out to right field. Christopher Morel was 0 for 2 with the hit by pitch. Dansby was 0 for 3 with a strikeout, 2 flyouts. Michael Bush went 1 for 3, had that flare single in the 4th, struck out in the 6th, and flew out to left field in the 2nd. Talk went 0 for 2 with that sac fly. Gomes was 0 for 2. And Peralta ended up going 0 for 3 with a strikeout, a ground out to first baseman, and a pop-up to the second baseman. So Peralta struggled a little bit. But the A's pitcher was really good. J.P. Sears could pitch. So Seiya didn't have any trouble with him. He took care of it. And manufacturing that run in the 4th was really important. So, but that's sort of how we ended up. 6 hits total, 3 runs. The kids got in late. Some of them did anyway. Mervis came in. He had an at-bat. He walked again. And it was another patient at-bat for Matt Mervis. So that looked good. Strumpf came in. He had an at-bat, and he walked as well. Yohendrick Penango grounded out first baseman to the pitcher, so he went 0 for 1. And Alfaro came in and caught for Gomes. He got an at bat and he struck out looking. And then, of course, David Bote has his at bat and he hits a solo shot. So David Bote, hot, fielded a grounder at shortstop, looked really good. It's starting to get really interesting. We got this was game 20, so we've got another 11 games to go. We're down to the last third of the spring training games, and there's a lot of decisions that are yet to be made. So let's go ahead and talk about the pitcher. Shota started, went 4 1/3, and he was awesome. He struck out 9, didn't walk any, gave up 3 hits, but they were, I'll call them scattered. He was never really in trouble. And what was really fun about Shota's outing was his control, his command was really good. He was throwing that fastball pretty much wherever he wanted to put it. He was getting it in on the righties. He was throwing it. He was getting swing and miss, getting that arm side run up and away. He was burying it down low. His change, he was dropping that change up down and away to him as well. His breaking ball, he just moved it around. He pitched all 4 quadrants today. That's what I noticed in his. He threw 70 pitches. And it was like, well, he split it up in about 25% each quadrant. So he left very few balls in the middle. He was really in command today. So Shota looked great. He wasn't able to get through the 5th, so he gets an out in the 5th, gives up a hit. So instead of messing with it, they go ahead and take him out and they put Cam Sanders in. And Cam literally throws 1 pitch, gets a double play, and gets out of the inning. So we're out of the 5th. 6th inning, Yency Almonte came in. He struck out 2. He had a walk, but Yency looked good. Then Carl Jr. came in and pitched the 7th. Carl had a bad outing. Walked the first guy on 4 pitches and then started to reel a little bit. Had a wild pitch. He walked 3 guys, only went 2/3 of an inning, and gave up a run. So he didn't get out of the inning. They brought in Palencia, and bases were loaded. Carl left the bases loaded, and Daniel Palencia came in and got the 3rd out with the bases loaded. Then Palencia stayed in and pitched the 8th. Total, Palencia went an inning and a 1/3, gave up just 1 hit, struck out 2. And then Edwin Escobar pitched the 9th inning, gave up just 1 hit, and got out of it. So other than Carl Edwards Jr., the pitches were pretty much lights out today. Again, Shota went 4 1/3, Cam Sanders 2/3, Almonte a full inning, Carl Jr. 2/3, and Palencia an inning and a 1/3, and Escobar finished it out with an inning to get us out of it. So really very good, entertaining game. Because of all the strikeouts, I mean, Shota had 9, and Yency had 2, and Palencia had 2, and so there was a lot of strikeouts, so there wasn't a lot of action. So Morel, he didn't really do anything. I don't think he had a ball hit to him. So just looking back, there wasn't a lot of balls that needed to be fielded. So our defense didn't really come into play that much. But when Canario came in, and I think I forgot to mention that Canario did have an at-bat. He struck out in the 7th. He came in center field in the 8th inning. I'm going to say he misplayed a fly ball. Fly ball was hit by a left-handed hitter off the trademark. Alexander misread it, took a step or 2 back, and then it was too late to come in and get it. So it turned out to be a hit, but it should have been a fly out. So that's the only defensive issue that to speak of. But like I said, we didn't really have to make a lot of defensive plays. There really wasn't much there. So, but 3-1, Cubs over A's. We got the White Sox tomorrow. We got Jordan Wicks going again, so we'll be interested to see how Jordan does. But good news today, Cubs 3, A's 1. And I appreciate you guys checking me out here on Cubs 24/7. And if you haven't already, would you hit that subscribe button for me if you think you can. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Go Cubs, go.